had a few questions on how do you actually engage, and I think, what we call, so what is content marketing in the first place? And this is something that, because this is the space that we're in, so one of the definitions, my favorite definition of content marketing is traditional advertising and marketing is telling the world you're a rock star. Content marketing is showing them that you're one, right? So you don't have to shout out saying that, hey, look, this is not advertising. In the process of engaging with your audience, they kind of realize that, this company really knows what it's talking about. I think I want to work with them, right? So how do you see, content marketing for you guys in terms of,
It's definitely become one of our foci, because in the past, like you said, let's get a brand out there and let's get people to believe in what it is. Content marketing for me is very much personalizing that brand journey. And this is, I think, where the B2B part becomes particularly interesting, right? Especially if you're living in an environment or if you're doing business in an environment where the purchase cycles might be a bit longer and where you don't have a need or a reason to engage on a weekly basis or multiple times during the week. How do you stay relevant? How do you stay on top? So a few years ago, I would have said content marketing was still a little bit confused with so I like what you said there with that, just getting that one message out. And we thought, fantastic, now I've got the email address, or I've got a way to send you a text message, or I've got different digital media to push messages to you. That was okay, but it was also wrong, because in the end, I think one of the big marketing gurus from BBH, Saluja, he said a few years ago, we believe now with digital, we have the right to push messages to you all the time without asking. And just because you gave me your email address doesn't mean you have to get 10 emails from me every day, or every week, or whatever the frequency is. Just because you have my phone number doesn't mean that you should be WhatsApping me, going on LinkedIn and everything all the time. You still have to be concerned about you don't want to get into their space all the time, you only want to get into one space. And that's between the ears here. You need to be able to own that share of mind and to get the relevant messages in there. And these messages are constantly needing to get updated because you need to hyper-localize them. You need to make them relevant in the context of now, because depending on situations, both economically, but also environmentally, politically, those messages might change. Those purchase cycles might change. You need to make them experiential and interesting. You need to bring the innovation elements into it. So there are a lot of elements that you need to do. So if I can create something, what we call the customer genome, so taking all types of information, it's almost like trying to get a view of your DNA and how you think and what kind of preferences you have. If I can start to populate databases, building a little bit like what we call a customer genome, then I can start to really make those messages relevant and that content very relevant. And all of a sudden I've got building blocks of content that I want to somehow get to you in your preferred channel at a time when you want to pull that content. And this is where I like what Roopak said. It's much better not to call me, but to send me a WhatsApp message, because then I can open it or respond when it's the right time for me, so there's less pressure. So how do I make it more of a pull? How do I make it, when I talk about personalizing, it's not about pushing it to you, but it's about allowing you to pull the right content in a seamless way.